Alrighty, y'all, to piggyback on our appliances that go in our kitchen, there's some more appliances. Ranges, cooktops, and ovens. This slide right here is the most important slide possibly in this whole video. This is the difference between the three. A range is a cooktop and oven combo. Basically a combo, like we had a tub shower combo, but it didn't have a special name. But this is a cooktop and oven combo, and it is called a range. That's just the term for that. Then we have a separate cooktop, which is the surface only cooking unit, and then we have an oven, which is just the oven. It's usually in the wall, so that's different. An oven is separate. A cooktop is separate. A range is when you have the two of them together in one contraption. That is the most common thing to have, a range. And I will have pictures of all of these. That'll make more sense. Be sure you're writing these down. Be sure you're gluing in your pictures that I gave you at the beginning of the week. So we have different types of ranges. First type is an electric range. And that is a range in which the heat for cooking is provided through coils by electric power. Coils may be hidden under a glass surface in newer models, which is pretty much what I bet almost all of you have. This is what older ranges, electric ranges, look like, where you see these burners. You can literally see the coiled up metal pieces that heat the pots and pans. Now, this would be a newer electric range, and that coil is just under this piece of glass. So it's still there. It just has a piece of glass on top of it because that looks nicer than the coily things. Also, the issue with these coils is they would get off balance, and so then you'd be cooking something with like oil in the pan, and all the oil would run to one side, and that just wouldn't work very well. And that is heated with straight up electricity. This next type is a gas range, and it is heated with gas. So you might have this type of range in your home if it has this thing that looks like iron spiders all over the top of it, and it has gas rings and has the oven, and they are both heated with gas. Gas is controlled with a valve with electric igniters, and that's required by law for it to have electronic igniters, rather than you like lighting it with a lighter on your own, because I guess there was something bad that happened with people doing that, and that's how it became a law, because that's how things become laws. Something bad happened and they had to make a rule about it. Oops. You have to have natural gas in order to have a gas range in your house. Natural gas is not supplied everywhere. Like, I know I've lived in areas of Henderson County that didn't have natural gas in them, so I couldn't have gas appliances. So you would just have to know if you had natural gas in your area or not. The positive about a gas range is it allows for more precise temperature control and more energy efficient than electric ranges. So you can control your heat a little better because you're cooking with like literal fire. You're not relying on electricity to heat. They're more energy efficient than electric ovens because they're not using full on electricity. They're using like only electricity to ignite the thing, and the actual heat is being supplied straight from gas. So you're not using full electricity. Next type would be an induction range, and this is really cool. With an induction range, your heat comes through an electromagnetic field below the glass top thing. Okay, it does make a very precise heat. The cool thing is that the surface never gets hot. So you touch it, like you could leave your hand on a burner turned up high and you would never feel anything. Isn't that crazy? But sometimes it can have a clicking sound. It's a negative, but I mean, big deal. You've got an induction range. That's really cool. So the way it works is you have to use special pots with it that have this special magnet on the bottom, and almost all pots anymore are induction safe. And the magnet in the pot and the magnet in the surface of your range, they like connect to each other, and that's the electromagnetic field. And somehow they just like connect and make heat. I don't have a better explanation than that. I just know it does. We'll just say it's magic. All right. Over your range, you have a range hood, and it could be several different types. It is the thing that contains a fan, usually, and it hangs above the stove to remove fumes, smoke, odors, heat, and steam, or it just circulates those. So here's 4 pictures of 4 options you could kind of have. You could have a microwave as your range hood, and it sucks up the fume, smoke, odors, heat, or steam out of your pots and shoots it outside, or it shoots it back into your kitchen, which is pointless. Or you could have this top that's just a little fan with a cabinet over it, or you could have this type that is a, what is that called? A downdraft, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, you could have this type. It looks like this. It's how they look. Or you could have this type that hangs over an island. And they all do the same thing. They remove the fumes, smoke, odors, heat, and steam. They just have different looks about them. Now we'll talk about cooktops only. So with these, look, there is no oven underneath this. It is only a cooktop on your countertop. That's it. Just the burners. No oven there. Separate. Cooktop only. It'll have cabinets or drawers underneath, and it's used in conjunction with a wall oven. So if you have a cooktop, you're going to have an oven somewhere else, unless you just for some reason don't want an oven. Now we'll talk about types of ovens. And I only have these 2 here to show you a look, because they are technically considered ranges since it has the cooktop and the oven in one contraption, and this one has cooktop and ovens in one contraption. I just want to show you there's the options for single and there's double. And then over here is double wall oven is what this is called. So conventional is what we're focusing on here. The fact that it is conventional. And this is the lesser of the 2. That means that your heat to heat this thing up comes from the top and the bottom. Like you've got some heat coming from the top in that oven, and you got some coming from the bottom in the oven. So your racks in there are adjustable. If you have you're baking a cake and you have your rack too high up in the oven and it's too close to that top heat source, what's going to happen to that cake? It's going to burn because it's too close to it. Because there's no fan circulating that heat, making it all even. The heat is coming like straight down on it, like the sun. This is the other type. It's the better type, in my opinion. It's called a convection oven, and it has a fan. That is what you need to know. Convection equals fan. Here's a picture of the fan in there. Convection equals fan. Yeah. Excuse me. This type has like little slats in it cut, and then a fan comes from like behind. So basically, you're cooking your food in a stream of heated air. It's using that fan to circulate the heat. It browns your food nicely. It's not heat coming just from the top or the bottom. Like it is coming from the top or the bottom, but it uses a fan to move that air around and not just let it sit there and burn it. So it makes your food cook more evenly. And that is the last slide. So just to reiterate, you have just an oven, like a wall oven. You have just a cooktop that sits on your countertop, or you have a range, which is one contraption that contains both an oven and a cooktop. Okay? Okay.